Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Parikacharya, Astottara Divine Grace, AC Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Parikacharya, Astottara Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय. नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर धाम की जय. वृंदावन धाम की जय, मथुरा धाम की जय, मायापुर नदी धाम की जय, जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय, गंगा मई जमुना मई की जय, तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की जय, समवेत भक्तवृंद की जय. All glories assembled yogis, all glories to the assembled yogis, all glories assembled yogis, all glories to Gaurang.
Welcome everybody to Srimad Bhagavatam with His Holiness Jayādvaita Swami. It is Tuesday, September 16th, 2025. Today we're starting with Srimad Bhagavatam 4:21:49. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I haven't heard anything from Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayādvaita Swami. We hope that he'll join us later. Okay, starting with 49. Aho vayam hi adya pavitra kirte tvayaiva natena mukunda nataha ya uttama shloka ta masya vishnur ramanya devasya katam vya nakati. Translation. The audience continued. Dear King Prithu, your reputation is the purest of all, for you are preaching the glories of the most glorified of all, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord of the Brahmanas. Since, due to our great fortune, we have you as our master, we think that we are living directly under the agency of the Lord. Purport. The citizens declared that through being under the protection of Maharaj Prithu, they were directly under the protection of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This understanding is the proper situation of social steadiness within this material world. Since it is stated in the Vedas that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the maintainer and leader of all living entities, The king or the executive head of the government must be a representative of the supreme person. Then he can claim honor exactly like the Lord's. How a king or leader of society can become the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is also indicated in this verse by the statement that because Prithu Maharaj was preaching the supremacy and the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, he was therefore a proper representative of the Lord. To remain under the jurisdiction or administration of such a king or leader is the perfect status for human society. Primary responsibility of such a king or leader is to protect the Brahminical culture and the cows in his state. Would anybody like to comment? I have no comments here.
We can go ahead.
Okay, we have Matupati Prabhu. Would you like to go with 50? 421.50?
Okay. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Gurudas Jayādvaita Swami Nityanamane. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatavine. Na adi adbhutam idam nata tava ajivya anushanam praja anurago mahatam prakriti karunatmanam. Our dear Lord, it is your occupational duty to rule over your citizens. That is not a very wonderful task for a personality like you, who are so affectionate in seeing to the interests of the citizens. Because you are full of mercy, that is the greatness of your character. Purport. A king's duty is to give protection to his citizens and levy taxes from them for his livelihood. Since the Vedic society is divided into 4 classes of men, the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras, the means of livelihood are also mentioned in the scriptures. The Brahmanas should live by spreading knowledge and should therefore take contributions from their disciples, whereas a king should give protection to the citizens for their development to the highest standard of life, and he can therefore levy taxes from them, businessmen or mercantile men, because they produce foodstuffs for the whole of society. Now, businessmen or mercantile men, because they produce foodstuffs for the whole of society, can take a little profit from this, whereas the Sudras, who cannot work as either Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, or Vaishyas, should give service to the higher classes of society and be provided by them with a supply of the necessities of life. The symptoms of a qualified king or political leader is mentioned herein. He must be very merciful and compassionate to the people and see to their prime interest, which is to become elevated devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Great souls are naturally inclined to do good to others, and a Vaishnava especially is the most compassionate and merciful personality in society. Therefore, we offer our respects to a Vaishnava leader as follows: Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhayavacha patitanam pavane bhayo Vaishnave bhayo namo namaha. Which means I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desire trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditions or for the fallen souls. Hold on for one moment. Sorry about that. Sales people. Only a Vaishnava leader can fulfill all the desires of the people. Vancha kalpataru. And he is compassionate because he is the contributor of the greatest benefit to human society. He is Patita Pavana, the deliverer of all fallen souls. Because if the king or the head of the government follows in the footsteps of the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, who are naturally leaders in missionary work, the Vaishyas will also follow in the footsteps of the Vaishnavas and Brahmanas. And the Sudras will give them service, thus the entire society becomes a perfect human institution for combined progress to the highest perfection of life. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurmitan Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Here we seek that the citizens are glorifying Prithu Maharaj, that our dear Lord, it is your occupational duty to rule over your citizens. The king is a Kshatriya. And Srila Prabhupada describes about the four varnas, right? Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. A Brahmana, his sustenance is from imparting knowledge. So he can then, by imparting knowledge, he can take dakshina from the disciples. The Kshatriya is the king, the administrator. So his primary duty is to protect the citizens, and for protecting the citizens, he can levy taxes. He can take taxes from the citizens. While the Vaishyas, the mercantile or businessman, can take some profit from their business. While the Sudras, they have to work for the other three varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Vaishyas. Right? They're the laborer class. So they need to work for the higher classes of society. And that's how the entire society is structured. And then Srila Prabhupada mentions about the Vaishnavas, that especially the Vaishnava leader can fulfill all the desires of the people. He does not exploit people. Right? He looks for the protection of the people. He looks for the protection of the citizens and for the well-being of the citizens. The current administrators would look at the exploitation of people. But the Vaishnava leader will fulfill the desires of the people. Right? Because of his natural compassion to serve the citizens, to serve the people. Right? That's why he's Patita Pavana, the deliverer of all fallen souls. Right? So that's how if we work in the footsteps of these Vaishnava leaders and the Brahmanas, then the perfect human society can be established. Whether someone is a Brahmana or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya or a Sudra. And Lord Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, Chaturvanya Maya system, Guna Karma Vibhagasya, that these four divisions are based on Guna and Karma, not based on birth. Not based on birth as commonly misinterpreted in many parts. Yeah. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentions in his commentary on this, Ajivinam means of the servants, those who have given their whole life. Affection for the citizens is the nature, prakriti of merciful persons. Right? Yeah. So, Prithu Maharaj was Ajivinam, affection for the citizens. Right, yeah. Okay. That's all I had on this verse. If anybody.
We have Guru Maharaj now joined us.
Yeah.
Welcome, Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj, do you have any comments here?
Yeah. Maybe I'll comment on this and the previous verse together. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Shaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashtatite Shatane Vanchakol Patarubhyas Chakrapa Sindhupyevacha Patita Nam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. In the previous verse 49, we have Aho Bayam Pyajya Pavitra Kirte Tvayaiva Natena Mukundanata Ya Uttama Shloka Tamasya Vishnur Brahmanya Devasya Katam Vyanakti. Aho, King, Pavitra Kirte, your purities personified, and you are engaged in glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Uttama Shloka. Ya Uttama Shloka Tamasya Vishnur Brahmanya Devasya. The Lord is Uttama Shloka, he's Brahmanya Dev, and you're spreading the glories of the Lord. Tam Bhyanakti. And therefore, Tvayaivanatena Mukundanata. We accept you as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Mukunda. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has commented that Prithu is addressed as Mukunda because he's the Lord, in the sense of giving bhakti to Mukunda. So they're addressing Prithu Maharaj as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because he's the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is honored as much as the Lord himself. So the citizens say that it's our good fortune that we're under your shelter, because that's as good as being directly under the shelter of the Lord. And then Prabhupada comments that this is what we want for a steady social system. The leader, the head of the government, the chief executive, should be a representative of the Lord, not an independent agent, not a sense gratifier who exploits the citizens, but a person who serves the citizens by giving them guidance and protection as ordained by the Lord. He was preaching the glories of the Lord. That was the engagement of Maharaj Prithu. And he was engaging the citizens also in serving the Lord. Okay. Then we come to this verse. Jayādvaitam idam nata tvaya jivyanushasana prajanurago hatam prakriti karanatmana. It's your duty to rule over the citizens. Actually, you're transcendental and not, I think Prabhupada has made that point. Maybe that will come earlier or later, that he's transcendental to material nature, but he's taken up the role of king. He's taken up the role of king. Oh Lord, this isn't such a great thing for you. It's not adbhuta, it's not wonderful. It's not surprising that you've taken up this business. You're Anushasana, you're the ruler of human society for the sake of being merciful, showing mercy to all the living entities in the kingdom, the citizens. That means the human beings, the animals, everyone. And yes, in this regard, the Prabhupada, when we talk about an occupation, then we talk about where we get our money from. And the different occupations receive their income in different ways. Srila Prabhupada talks about that. And I think everything else our Madhupati has spoken about. Hare Krishna.
In the chat, Praveen Prabhu writes, a devotee shared, although one is determined by his karma and not janma, still one's janma affects one's karma. Teja sama jiti sucham ajaho nati manita bhavanti sampadam daivim abhijatasya bharata krisi goraksha banijam vaishya karma svabhava jam paricharya makam karma shudra syapi svabhava jam.
Well, the janma affects the karma affects the janma too. On account of my previous karma, I take birth in a particular place, in a particular society, in a particular section of human society, on account of my previous activities. And on account of that birth also, there's an inclination or capability for a particular set of activities. This is not very surprising. By my past activities, I get a birth. On account of that birth, now I'm in a particular country, I speak a particular language, I get a particular kind of upbringing, particular kind of education, and those affect my forward trajectory. That's not really surprising at all. And therefore, yes. Yes, so, it's both janma and karma. One doesn't get a janma independently. It's not that by some random process one is born in a family of Brahmins, in a family of Kshatriyas, in a family of Vaishyas or Shudras. It's because of my previous activities. And then now that I've got a particular body, that's going to have something to do with where I go from here. But one can transcend the limits of one's birth, particularly by Krishna consciousness. Sometimes even just by qualification. One is born in a particular family, but his qualifications exceed those of the family. Karna was given as an example. Of course, Karna was actually born of a Kshatriya family, but he was known as a Shudra. But Duryodhana recognized, no, he has the qualities of a Kshatriya. So therefore, Yudhisthira Maharaj instructs, Narad instructs Yudhisthira Maharaj, if you see the qualities of a Brahmin in a person born in a Shudra family, he's a Brahmin. And if you see the qualities of a Shudra in a Brahmin-born person, he's a Shudra. So it's not that birth is the only thing that tells us anything about someone. But birth is, as Prabhupada said, it's an advantage. If someone's born in a family of nuclear physicists, he has a good opportunity to be ahead of the game in nuclear physics. Someone's born in a family of business people, then he has the background for becoming a good businessman. But one doesn't have to. A person born in a Brahmin family can become a Shudra. A person born in a Shudra family can become a Brahmin. Rishabdev Maharaj instructed his 100 sons. Some of them were Brahmins, some of them were Kshatriyas. Not that automatically they all became Brahmins or they all became Kshatriyas. So, yes.
Prabhu writes, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, do you want to read next?
Me? Okay, let's see. Yeah. Adyanas tamasa paras tvayopasadita prabho brahmyatam nashtadrishtinam garmabir daiva sangitai. Just one. Citizens continued. Today you have opened our eyes and revealed how to cross to the other side of the ocean of darkness. By our past deeds and by the arrangement of superior authority, we are entangled in a network of fruitive activities and have lost sight of the destination of life. Thus, we have been wandering within the universe. Purport. In this verse, the words karmabhir daiva sangitahe are very significant. Due to the quality of our actions, we come to the association of the modes of material nature. And by superior arrangement, we are given a chance to enjoy the fruitive results of such activities in different types of bodies. in this way, well, this continues from before. Because of our actions, we come to the association of modes of material nature in a particular way, and then we get a particular kind of body, and we're given to the chance to enjoy this way or that way. In this way, having lost sight of their destinations in life, all living entities are wandering in different species throughout the universe, sometimes getting birth in a lower species, and sometimes existence in higher planetary systems. Thus, we are all wandering since time immemorial. Brahmayan sarvabhutani yantrarudhani maya. The living entities are all parts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but Brahmayan sarvabhutani, wandering. It is by the grace of the spiritual master and the Supreme Personality of Godhead that we get the clue of devotional life. And thus, progressive success in our life begins. Here, this is admitted by the citizens of King Prithu. In full consciousness, they admit the benefit they have derived from the activities of Maharaj Prithu. We've been wandering. We've lost sight of the goal of life because we've been diverted to trying to enjoy material nature. So we've been wandering, but Adya, today, you've opened our eyes. And so you've shown us how to Adya nas tamasa paras tvaya upasadita. You've shown us how to cross over the ocean of material existence by your mercy. Hare Krishna.
Chat. Priti Purnamadavi Mataji writes, Hare Krishna Maharaj, if Karna was a Kshatriya by activity, then why did he have to hide his identity to get trained from Sri Parashurama?
One thing is that there was a heavy, presumption in terms of birth. And particularly Parshuram, he's ferocious. If there's a hint that you're a Kshatriya, that you're a Kshatriya, then he won't train you. He won't train you. So no, I'm not a Kshatriya.
Should we move on to the next text?
Yes.
Mahesh Pandit, Vibhu, and Priti Purnamadavi Mataji writes, thank you, Maharaj.
Okay, so we will go the last verse, number 52. Namo vivruddha satyaya purushaya mahiyase yo brahma ksatra mavishya bibhadedam swatejasa. Dear Lord, you are situated in your pure existential position of goodness. Therefore, you are the perfect representative of the Supreme Lord. You are glorified by your own prowess, and thus you are maintaining the entire world by introducing Brahminical culture and protecting everyone in your line of duty as a Kshatriya. Purport. Without the spread of Brahminical culture and without proper protection from the government, no social standard can be maintained properly. This is admitted in this verse by citizen of Maharaj Prithu, who could maintain the wonderful situation of his government due to his position in pure goodness. The word Vruddha Sattvaya is significant. In the material world, there are three qualities, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance. One has to be raised from the platform of ignorance to the platform of goodness by devotional service. There is no other means for elevating one from the lower stage of life to the higher stage but the execution of devotional service. As advised in the previous chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, one can raise himself from the lowest position to the highest simply by associating with the devotees and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam regularly from their mouth. Shrumatam Swakatham Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hruday Anta Sto Ye Abhadrani Vishnonsi Shrutu Satam. When one engages in devotional service in the first stage of hearing and chanting, the Lord, who is in everyone's heart, helps the devotee in cleansing his heart. Bhagavatam 1-17. In the gradual cleansing process, one is relieved of the influence of passion and ignorance and is situated on the platform of goodness. The result of association with the qualities of passion and ignorance is that one becomes lusty and greedy. But when one is elevated to the platform of goodness, he is satisfied in any condition of life and is without lust and greed. This mentality indicates one's situation on the platform of goodness. One has to transcend this goodness and raise himself to the pure goodness called Vivruddha Sattva, or the advanced stage of goodness. In the advanced stage of goodness, one can become Krishna conscious. Therefore, Maharaj Prithu is addressed here as Vivruddha Sattva, or one who is situated in the transcendental position. But Maharaj Prithu, although situated in the transcendental position of a pure devotee, came down to the position of Brahman and Kshatriya for the benefit of human society and thus give protection to the entire world by his personal prowess. Although he was a king, a Kshatriya, because he was a Vaishnava, he was also a Brahmana. As a Brahmana, he could give proper instruction to the citizen, and as a Kshatriya, he could rightly give protection to all of them. Thus, the citizens of Maharaj Prithu were protected in all respect by the perfect king. Thus, in the Bhaktivinoda purport of the 4th chapter, 21st chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Instruction by Maharaj Prithu. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pasaya Vidre Shimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nami Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyari Prachastani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Guru Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare. So here the Prithu Maharaj is being praised by their subjects, Praja, and they say that because you are a great devotee, that's why you are spreading Krishna consciousness, and also because you come down to the level of Brahman and Kshatriya, although he is above all that, because he is the incarnation of Krishna. But he does come down on that level and preach and taught their citizens how to do the devotional service. And Bhagavad Gita advises us to transcend the modes of nature, sattva gun, rajagun, tamagun, mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance, and come to on the level of mode of goodness. And finally, also transcend the mode of goodness and come to the level of Shuddha Sattva or Vasudeva, in Vasudeva position, Shuddha Sattva. If you get stuck in mode of goodness, then you think that you are happy and you get bound by such thoughts and happiness. So advice is to go above the three modes of nature and also transcend the mode of goodness. So the citizens are very much appreciating Prithu Maharaj, and Prithu Maharaj is trying to engage the citizens in the devotional service, beginning from hearing and chanting. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, then Smaranam, Padasevanam, Dasyam, Archanam, and finally Atmanivedanam. So this is the process of becoming Krishna conscious. Okay. And the association is very, very important. By good association, you can really progress in devotional service. So here, the citizens also saying the association is very much important. Okay, thank you, Maharaj. Please.
The Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments, being Prithu is the Lord, the Brahmanas offer him respects. Entering into the Brahmin caste, the Lord supports the Kshatriyas. Entering into the Kshatriyas, the Lord supports the Brahmins. Entering into both, the Lord supports the universe. So the citizens are continuing to identify Prithu Maharaj with Mukunda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Avishya, you've entered into these two sections, the Brahmin section, the Kshatriya section. And this comment is very nice, that the Kshatriyas, the Lord supports the Brahmins and Kshatriyas. He supports the Brahmins by appearing in the Kshatriya section, because the Kshatriyas offer protection needed for Brahminical life. And the Lord, so in that way, the Lord supports the Brahmins, and he supports the Kshatriyas by becoming a Brahmin and offering guidance and instruction, as we'll see in the next chapter. The Kshatriyas are meant to come under the guidance and direction of the Brahmins. So there's cooperation, and between the two, the Brahmins and the Kshatriyas, the Lord supports the universe. The whole society is supported by the Lord, who appears. Even the Lord supports the social system by appearing as the Vaishya also. The Vaishyas embody the Lord, or embody the productive quality of the Lord. The Kshatriyas produce food for human society. So the Lord enters into all of he enters into the earth also. Gama Visha Chabut. Gama Visha Bhutani Dharyam Yahamojasa. Gama Visha, he enters into the earth. It keeps the earth in orbit, keeps the earth running, or keeps the earth productive. Everything depends on the earth. So the Lord enters into the earth, the Lord enters into the heart of every living being, and the Lord enters particularly in the group of Kshatriyas and the groups of Brahmins to hold everything together. If you have Kshatriyas without Brahmins, then society won't be on course, because they won't have enough clarity about direction and vision. And without Kshatriyas, then you have Brahmins who don't have power to enforce, or the power to organize and put things in place. So they have good ideas, but can't implement the ideas because they don't have executive capability and power. And it's not their duty, even if they have capability. They're advised, no, don't get into management. Leave that to the Kshatriyas, and you remain on the platform of goodness. Kshatriyas have to get passionate or exercise passion to hold things in place. So it's better that you Brahmins stay out of the management, stay out of the government, and keep your humble position as advisors and guides for the society. All right, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, things in the chat. Saraswati Mataji writes, Pranams Parampuja, Gurudev, and all the Vaishnavas. Does executing bhakti place a conditional soul directly on the transcendental platform immediately, or does it start the cleansing process, gradually lifting one to the transcendental platform? Also, can a conditional soul drift from the transcendental platform back down to the influence of the material modes because they are not firmly fixed in pure bhakti?
Yes, we see that. Someone takes up the transcendental process, but because they're not firmly situated in devotional service, they drift back down again. That we certainly see. Prabhupada called Krishna consciousness a gradual cleansing process. So it's not that I take to bhakti and now on day one, I'm situated on the highest platform. I'm situated in purity because now I'm in the purest engagement. But but I may not have steadiness because I'm not mature in practice. Therefore, we find that if one is apakva, not mature, then again, one may fall. Still, when he takes to Krishna consciousness, he's in the transcendental position, and he just has to stick with it. And then he will become mature, steady, strong, so that the modes of material nature will not affect him. Tara rajas tamo bhava kamalopadayas chete dharanavidham stitam sattve prasidati. By hearing and chanting and so on, one will come to the point of pure goodness or pure engagement in free from rajas and tamas. I think in Prabhupada's translation to that verse, he frames things in that way, that one gradually becomes free from rajagun, tamagun, and from greed and ignorance. Also, a comment that takes a while to catch up early in the morning. The Parshuram Karna, of course, wasn't hiding his Kshatriya background because he didn't even know that he was born in a Kshatriya family. And so the background that he was hiding was the background of a Shudra. He was the son of known as the son of a charioteer. So he was concealing that. And yes, that's because of the presumption that he's the son of a charioteer. He's not going to be a very important person. Hare Krishna.
Okay, we have a final comment before we do Kirtan. Saraswati Machi writes, has Prithu Maharaj, who is a Mahabhagavata devotee, accepted to act in the capacity of Kshatriya as a service to Krishna, although he is actually free from all material designations / identification?
He's a Mahabhagavata, accepted to act. And the grammar has me confused because it's making a statement and asking a question at the same time. He's a Mahabhagavata, accepted to act in the capacity of Kshatriya as a service to Krishna, although he's actually free from all. Yeah, he's transcendental. That's there in the purport. Moving backward. He came down to the position of Brahman and Kshatriya. Avishya, again in the previous verse, he enters into the position of a Brahman, enters into the position of a Kshatriya for the benefit of human society. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess this will be the final comment then. Pratipurna Madhavi Machi writes, so Maharaj, if he would not have concealed, then Parashuramji would not have any problem in training him?
Well, again, then if he'd not concealed, no, otherwise, why is he concealing? That's the point. That was the question asked. Why did he conceal it? Well, he thought if I appear to be just a Shudra, then Parshuram won't train me. And if I appear to be a Kshatriya, he may not train me either. So he exactly.
Pradeep Madhavi Mashi, are you available for Kirtan?
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare
Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Pariprajak Acharya Stotra Shri Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Nam Acharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Jayādvaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai, Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath, Sham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Navadip Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Ki Jai, Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Jamuna Mai Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari.
His Holiness Jayādvaita Swami Ki Jai.
Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol. Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you, Mahesh Pandit Prabhu. Thank you to Prasanand and thank you to all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Jaya.